Hello, it's Claire Westwood here from myimprovisedlife.com with the second in my manifestation periscopes this week. I've decided to do it outside, so apologies for the traffic, and I think there's going to be kids coming out of the nursery next door, but I do like to challenge myself a little bit, so I thought I'd log on to the library Wi-Fi, which is the building just there, and just do this outside in the sunshine because it's such a beautiful day. And hello to everybody watching. If you'd like to just say hello in the box and introduce yourselves, that would be lovely so I know who you are, and send some hearts if you can definitely hear this, because I've had a few issues with Periscope with my Android phone since I started doing Periscopes, but hopefully this one today will be right on track. And it's really interesting. I think my first point while people are joining in is to talk about my experience of using Periscope. And even though I've done a lot of presentations and a lot of video and I do a lot of work on my phone, I actually find it really challenging to do Periscopes. So I just thought I should just crack on and do 10 over 2 weeks to get me over the fear. And that's part of what I'm going to talk about today with the stop making excuses thing, because I could have made all sorts of excuses for not doing this Periscope, like said, oh, I'd had technical issues, or my Wi-Fi wasn't working very well and I'm logging onto the library Wi-Fi, and in actual fact it was just because I was a bit nervous and didn't really want to do it. So here I am, and today's title is Stop Making Excuses and Start Making Meaningful Money. And I'm a coach and I work with other coaches and healers, mainly people who are really creative. They've got lots and lots of ideas, and they're not people who often sit there with an empty sheet of paper wondering what to do. They're constantly thinking of new workshops and new courses and new ideas, new ways to market themselves. But what can often happen is we have so many ideas, we never really get into momentum with anything. And we're offering so many ideas that quite often we end up confusing both ourselves and our potential clients, because we kind of got a whole menu of things that they could do. Thank you for the hearts, I love you too. And instead of confusing people, we could just be really clear. And I've been running Claire's Creative Clarity Club on Facebook. If you want a really lovely group of people to get you clear, get you into action. Hello Viv, nice to see you. Join the group, Claire's Creative Clarity Club, for some ideas. It's free, it's full of people actually dropping a whole lot of work, a whole lot of stuff by getting clear and working on their one thing and really getting into momentum and getting themselves clear so that they can then show up in the world and be clear what they offer. So stop making excuses and start making meaningful money. What does that mean? Well, I'd like you to think about perhaps what excuses you might be making. Now, you might not even think they are excuses. You might think they're perfectly justified, as in, I don't have time, I don't have the money, I've got all this other stuff to do. You make other things more important than living your mission. And if you're really determined to live your mission and make your difference in the world, you have to start thinking differently. So I've been looking in my group and also at the clients that I've worked with over the years, and the sort of excuses or reasons that people come up with for not actually getting on with the work. And what I've seen in my group at the moment is they know what to do. I've given them all the tuition, I've given them all the strategies, I've given them really simple tasks to do, and they're not doing them. And of course that's all due to fear, because one of the excuses we can use is, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start. Well, in my group I've told them where to start and they're still getting really confused. So let me help you if you're in the situation where you feel like you're ready to get into action. One of the things is the whole classic of, I'm too old to do it now, or I'm too young, people won't take me seriously. I need to lose 10 pounds. Especially for women, this is like, I'm not young enough, I'm not pretty enough, I need to do this first. I need to do another training course, I need to have another certificate, I need to learn something else about marketing, and it goes on and on and on. And these excuses, there is no end to them, because when we lose that 10 pounds and we buy that new dress and we learn that new technique, thanks Viv, we can still find other excuses for not getting into action. So it's really interesting, the resistance that comes under these things that we believe is what's actually stopping us. So you're not too old, you're not too young, you don't need to lose 10 pounds, you probably don't need to learn anything else except just how to push through that, the excuses. And the main thing that I've learned over the years is the sooner you get into action over what you fear, the easier it is, and the fear goes when you get on with it. So I shared right at the beginning of this Periscope that I'm quite nervous about doing Periscopes. Now I'm in the flow and I'm teaching and I've got some hearts and I'm getting some comments. It's great because I'm now in the flow of teaching, so the fear of doing the Periscope has kind of gone. The fear of the technology, will it work, can I sit under a tree and do it, all this stuff that I worried about before I did this Periscope has now gone because I'm in teaching mode. So if you're making excuses or feeling fearful about doing something, the sooner you do it, the better. If you're scared of picking up the phone and speaking to people, pick up the phone and speak to people as soon as you finish watching this, or even put this on pause, thanks Viv, and go off and do it. If you're scared of starting a blog, just set it up and write something. If you're making excuses about nobody will want what I'm offering, nobody will be wanting it, well, unless you've offered it, you have no evidence that that's true. And my belief is, if you've got the feeling that this is something you want to offer the world, there's people crying out for it. There really is. And you can be you. You know, you can wear a pink hoodie, you can sit under a tree, you can just be you. And that's the joy of video and Periscope and social media now. We don't have to put on a persona to make a difference. So let me just see what else I've got on my list. So making meaningful money, that's the other thing. Sometimes the excuses that we have is because we're actually getting, especially if you're a creative person and a healer and a coach and you've got lots of ideas, you get dragged in the business world into a very left brain, very systems orientated way, especially if you're looking at online processes. And this is something that happened to me in my first business, as I spent hours and hours and days on my own, sitting on a computer, you know, doing strategy and writing copy and sending emails and e-zines, and it was just, you know, it killed me, really, it killed my soul. And it didn't really, it got some great results, I got some good clients from it, but internally and in my life, it really wasn't good. Now I've learned that I love online stuff, I know how to do it, especially social media, because I can show up as me and be me and share my graphics and share my photographs and share my life and still get the results that I want. And actually, thank you for the hearts. What you're watching me doing now is a Periscope on my phone under a tree outside the library, logging onto their Wi-Fi. Now, if I'd known, now this technology wasn't available, but you can run a business from your smartphone. Okay, so whatever excuses you've got, I need a new computer, I don't have an office, I don't have a space at home I can do it, I don't have, you know, whatever. Seriously, if you've got a smartphone, you can run a business. You can phone people up, you can make video, you can do social media, you can log on to websites, like it's all available now. There really is no excuse for that. So it's amazing to be able to run a business from my pocket. And those of you who follow me and have worked with me before, you know that I do my work at the beach, I do my work under a tree, I do my coaching calls. Hello Di, nice to see you. I do my coaching calls from my patio at home with my crazy bunting behind, and I love it because I feel like it's broken the barriers down between me and potential clients, and also it allows me to run my business in the way I want to. I rarely sit at my desk unless I'm writing a document or I'm drawing something, which actually is not work, it's a pleasure. So you do not need a whole bunch more technology. You have an office in your pocket, your handbag, whatever. The fear will stop you. You're not too old, you're not too young, you don't need to lose 10 pounds, you don't need to buy new outfits, you don't need to learn anything else. You just need to know what you want to achieve. So, if you're a creative person and you've got an idea of something you want to launch in the world, thanks for those crazy hearts, that you're going mad now, I love it. My ego is satisfied, thank you. It's to get your mission out in the world. So how do you do that? So for me, the making meaningful money has got a few components, which if you get really clear about them and you start to write it, you journal it, you write it as if it's really happening, you visualize it, can get you through the fear. And that is, be really clear your one thing that you're going to do. And this is something that I talk about in Claire's Creative Clarity Club, and I've actually written a theme song about it as well. called Do Just One Thing. If you're trying to offer 6 types of healing to anyone in the world and you're trying to talk about all of those things, you're going to burn yourself out. I've burnt myself out several times before in my life, and it's really not a pleasure. So offer one product or program. You can have a couple of different levels to satisfy different people's wallets, if you like, but just do one thing, and that will immediately take away about 50% of the work you have to do. Find some marketing strategies that you really like, that satisfy your clients, that get you in touch with the people that you want to get in touch with, and just do those. Thanks. I'm not going to sing it today. I'm going to do it later, actually, in the fortnight, Viv, but I need to practice my guitar, so that's not an excuse. That's a genuine, I really need to practice. But thanks for your suggestion. So yeah, offer one thing. Take a whole bunch of your courses off. Offer it to one client group and pick marketing strategies you actually like. Run your business from your pocket, from your smartphone. Get out in the world, meet people, have fun, raise your energy, feel good about what you do and feel good about yourself. You don't need to be anyone else. You don't need to know anything else. You are enough. That's it, really. That's all the excuses gone. And if you're in fear, just do whatever it is you're scared of as soon as you possibly can, because that's how the fear goes. And of course, the other way is to get in touch with me and have me work through it with you. Sorry, the sun's moved around now, I'm getting a bit dazzled. So if you want to get in touch with me, I'm running a manifestation program on the 21st of September. It's 21 high energy days. And the last group got really clear, they got really enthusiastic, they met each other, they supported each other. So message me on Facebook if you're interested in more information about the group, and message me if you're interested in working with me on a one-to-one and you want to have a little call with me to find out how that works. So you can send me a Facebook message or email me at claire@myimprovisedlife.com, and just stop making excuses and start making meaningful money. And the reason is that you need to be out there fulfilled and doing your thing, and your clients and the world needs you to show up. I'll see you tomorrow at 12. Bye.